Well, hey everybody, how you doing?
I'm
Tuesday
all right.
morning, 8
What's
a.m.
up? Yeah.
And we're here. We're going to talk trash and
Yep.
and basically the trash we're talking is about trash in the stadiums and
Yeah. Not the
and
trash
stuff.
that you throw on the
Just I
floor.
mean, recently, I mean, we've always dealt with unruly fans. We've always dealt with
Eagles
unruly
fans,
players
Cowboys
on
fans.
on the court and on the field and all, but is it me or has it just kind of gotten out of hand over the last so many years?
As far as the fandom goes,
I mean, both sides, on the field and off the field, or on the court and
I,
off the court.
well, I think you got certain fan bases that are aggressive, and aggressive is good.
Well,
Um,
yeah. I
I
mean,
think
I
you have
think that's what
certain,
hockey's all about. I mean, a
I
lot of
think
people
you have
go to
certain
hockey
level of
games just to
what it
see
used to be,
the
what it used to
fights.
be about.
Yeah.
It's not really that way now, but Um, I think you have certain fan bases that are just aggressive, rude, belligerent all the times. Eagles fans, Cowboys fans. They're the most annoying fans. Look, I'm sorry, and I got friends that are both, and I kind of find them annoying. Um, and it's okay. Like every fan base can have its moment. I am obnoxious when I am Michigan State. We we aren't great at football right now, but I am still coming out for blood. I remember going to the Michigan State Baylor Cotton Bowl game. It was like I was married at the time. Um, maybe I don't know. I was with her. I think we were married. Who knows? And I remember I found out that Michigan State, this was back when Kirk Cousins was playing. And I remember when Michigan State got announced, they announced the bowl games in Texas, going to be playing Baylor. And I'm like, I'm buying tickets. So her and I went. She's got no dog in the fight, but obviously she's going to be on my team, right? And at least for then, not on the marriage, but for the football.
Yeah.
Um, and so we we're tailgating, decked out, and we're obviously in enemy territory, you know?
Yeah.
There was a lot of Spartans there, but I had this Baylor mom in front of me. So rude, like kept on turning around, sticking her tongue out, giving me the finger, and I'm like, I'm cheering my team, but I'm not. I kind of relax myself. I'm trying to just
Right.
have
Right.
fun. Like every time. I mean, like Michigan State wouldn't even be have the ball. They wouldn't even be doing anything. They'd be on the sidelines, and she'd turn around and be like, "F you," and I'm like, "Well, fine." And we were getting our butt kicked, and I was like, "This is hard." But we made a huge comeback and won. So Brandon,
Right.
elevated. I just everything. I can't, yeah, just win it. I was like, eat it, eat that win, go green. And I was like, go back home to Baylor. And she turns around to me and she goes, well, you don't have to be so rude. And I'm like, what?
Excuse me, right?
Yeah, but it's funny though how that happens. But we're seeing it with certain fan bases, but really now, look at the situations we've had on the field.
Yeah, it just it amazes me and more recently up in Detroit.
Hey, nothing wrong.
There was an issue where some fans were getting unruly and all. Then the players went into the stands and they're beating up on the fans, and the fans are trying to beat up on the players. And I watched the coverage of it, and I'm thinking, where did this all go wrong? You know,
Well, are you
and
talking
why?
about are you talking about the most recent? Or are you talking about Malice in the Palace?
Well, both
Well,
actually.
Malice in the Palace was a big thing with
Yeah.
Ron Artest, and that was that was back in Rasheed Wallace days. Dang, he's my boy, man. I still want a Rasheed Wallace. I need a new Rasheed Wallace Detroit Pistons jersey anyway, because he's my boy, man. But that was bad. That was bad. I mean, it was bad enough that Ron Artest is just a dirty scumbag, okay? And it's bad enough that like you have that in Detroit. And then you have the Detroit Pistons who are elevated and they are fire. Like that was the bad boys, reincarnate.
Yeah, I remember the
And
days
then
of Rodman too.
you're at, well, Rodman wasn't there.
I
Rodman
mean,
wasn't there
I'm
for,
saying when he was there.
yeah. So then you have the fans talking trash. And when Ron Artest went into to the audience, game over. This most recent one was all about the players jawing, fighting, pushing, spilled over into the fans, and
Yeah,
then other players started going in to the stands to get those players and fight them, and then the Pistons, it all hell broke loose.
right, right.
Um, I'm for the attitude when it comes to Detroit. Look, when you beat up a team so much and the Pistons have gone through so much, you play with the chip on your shoulder. It's the same thing with the Detroit Lions. We have been dog crap for years. And now you don't want to give us the respect because we've earned it. We're going to take it. Like, I'm okay with that. You know what I mean? I'm not okay with fans getting involved, though. Not okay with that.
But I mean, let's face it, sometimes the fans go because they're looking for that.
Yes.
Again, I mentioned hockey. Look at European soccer. I mean, wow. I mean, some of those soccer matches will end up with stadium sized brawls, depending on who wins and loses that match,
Oh,
because
I've
the
seen it.
people
Yeah.
go absolutely crazy. And for that reason, in a lot of cases, a lot of times it's on the football field. Boy, as soon as that game is over, those players want to be anywhere but on that field at the end of the game.
That's
They're
why they
running for
rush
the
out.
exits.
That's why, and you've heard players talk on in every sport that there's certain stadiums and certain fields that they're like, no, we want to come in, get in, and get out.
Yeah,
And I think that that's a level of ridiculousness. Like you can sit there and be harsh and be brutal as a fan, but if you're known for just starting ruckus and fights and burning stuff, like that takes away from the sport. And then you gotta factor in the alcohol. You got to factor in the alcohol.
absolutely,
You got
absolutely.
people jacked up. People get too emotionally attached to their sports, and I get it. I'm part of that. But I'm not going to sit here and fight somebody over it. Like I'm just not. I want to go to a game with Luke. Like I'm not going to fight. Like when we went to the Cowboys Lions game, which by the way, Lions won in case everybody just forgot. Um, I was in obviously enemy territory, but there was a ton of Lions fans there. I was surrounded by Cowboys. And I heard some this and that, but I also got my 7-year-old son there. I didn't say much back. I let what happened on the field speak for itself.
Right.
But then I had some really great Cowboy fans next to me that were just hanging out with Luke. They were giving him nachos. Like it was fun. That's cool. Banter, trash talk, fun, but I'm not gonna fight over a game where these players don't even know my name.
Yeah. But see, what the one major difference was you had your son with you.
Hmm.
There's these groups of fans that will go specifically to drink themselves into oblivion, and by the time they get to the fourth quarter, if their team is down, man, the blood is starting to the level is in the eyeballs, and they're looking for one fan just to say you guys suck, man,
That's
and then
it.
all of a sudden everything starts to get thrown.
It's chaos, man. And that's a shame because it takes away. And you also got to be careful because it used to be like certain sections that you just don't sit in. Like I'd go to FC Dallas games and I was part of a supporters group and we were rowdy. We were
Yeah,
drum banging, drinking. Obviously we didn't get in fights, but I would never take Luke to that section.
yeah.
I'm
It's
gonna
like the
go.
bleacher section in baseball.
Yeah, exactly, and just hang out. But
Yeah.
now, I mean, tickets are so expensive. You've got those people just spread throughout the stadium. It is a shame because it ruins the game. I don't mind every now and then players getting into it. They're getting multi-million dollars, so it's a business. If I was getting multi-million dollars and somebody was messing with me, I might fight them too. But not the fans, man.
Yeah. And also, one thing that have seen that's missing is at the end of games. I always remember where win or lose, both teams you would cross, give high fives. I mean, you do still see it like on the football field when they count down those last 10 seconds and everything. Usually the guys that are still on the field start to high five each other. The winners win, they're happy, the losers lose, but it was a good game. Uh, Basketball, I'm not so sure in men's basketball. Women's basketball, whenever the game is over, they cross high fives, even a couple of hugs when there's a couple of players that have been really physical in the game, and let it go. Uh, Hockey, sometimes, most of the time, they just
Mhm.
leave the ice and back to the dressing room.
Yeah, I think it all depends too on the moment and the heated moment and who the team is and
Yeah,
who the leaders are in the locker room, that comes from the top, that comes from the coaches, that comes from the leaders in the locker room. And
yeah.
if that's not being presented, then they're not going to do it.
By the way, just as an aside, I was just thinking, did you see when Florida won the national championship in basketball? Did you see that they have a player on their team that is 7'6",
Yeah.
and and he walks over to the net and he just reaches up with the scissors and he cuts his piece of the net down
Yeah,
without
just
using the ladder.
I'm very similar in the kitchen, I'm very similar, I can reach that top shelf, and grab my cup, it's
Right.
very, you know,
Well, yeah, that's why I remember when I had a hoop in my backyard, it was one of those adjustable hoops
yeah.
so that you could, not that you could jump high enough to dunk the ball, you just lower the net to where you could do it.
I know Luke and I have been playing a lot of basketball lately, and he's stubborn. I don't know where he gets that from, but
I wonder.
he gets frustrated. I got him a ball. It's not a little kid ball, but it is appropriate for him. I mean, it's a
Yeah,
full-size basketball, but I'm like, dude, it's a different weight. Like you gotta, and he's frustrated because we're playing on the court, and I'm like, buddy, these are like you haven't it's not even about the height, it's just about the flow and the strength behind it.
right.
And he's like, I only made two shots, I only got two baskets. I'm like, bro, I've seen NBA players. Like, so you're doing pretty good. But and I go, there's other courts that we can go to where it's a little bit lower. He's like, I want to do that.
Right.
I don't want to do that. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, everybody wants to be like Mike.
I know. And then I make them, and I'm not like a pro, obviously, but I've just been playing a lot, like fun playing longer. And I make it, well, you made that shot. I'm like, buddy, I'm 46, you're 7. So, like, you just like in the last year and a half have been using a real ball, so to speak. So,
And it's only going to get worse.
I know. Well, he's been debating what his next sport is, basketball or football. I don't want either. I prefer basketball because football, but he wants to do flag football, and I'm okay with that. You know, I want him
Yeah.
to try anything he wants, and we're gonna really look into that this summer and get him signed up. But
Doesn't he play soccer too?
he quit. Yeah, I
Oh,
mean,
really?
I don't mean it that way. I think my opinion, not just because I like it. I think he shouldn't have quit. I think he was doing very well. Um, I stopped coaching for him when he got older because he didn't want me to coach for him anymore. Um,
Oh, I figured if you stopped coaching, then he'd really want to continue playing.
Yeah, I stopped coaching for him so he could continue. And then he just said he was done with it. And I'm like, well, I'm not going to force him into it. I just thought he was doing really good at it.
Right.
Um, and it was great exercise. He,
Hey,
yeah, he just wants to try something else.
he'll he'll do what he wants to do.
Yeah.
But hey, anyway, whatever your sport is, and all, be a player, be a team player, and all. Don't fight. There's nothing in it unless it's hockey. I mean,
Yeah.
that way when the guys walk off the ice and they're not bleeding, then it hasn't been a really successful game. Or like
Right.
is it Ottawa or something where they throw octopus on the ice or something?
Ottawa, we do that in Detroit.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, Detroit does that too. Yeah.
That's our Red Wings, man. It's hard to get an octopus.
And
Uh,
and and a word of caution, if you are a Detroit hockey fan, don't eat the calamari.
no.
Because
Word of caution too, if you are a fan and you are a first time attempter of the octopus, it is, don't just think that you're going to sneak it in. You've got to get it in a plastic bag and put the plastic bag here and tape it. And because and don't think that they won't pat you down if they see something, but you will get kicked out. You probably get banned. They won't take you to jail, but you will get a fine. So it's worth it if you can do it.
yeah, but I mean that's the fun of it too, is to see if you can get away with it.
You only need one
And
guy.
they do, because whenever there's a score, there's hundreds of octopus that gets thrown onto the ice.
Yeah, you
And
pay one of these security guards a little extra. They're not going to do anything. So
right, right. All right. Go out, make it a good day. Come back, see us again next week. All right. We'll be here. Bye.
see you guys.